Nu couché, sur le côté gauche. Modigliani's 1917 painting of a naked woman on a red sofa became a record-breaking piece of art when it sold at Sotheby's New York auction to an anonymous buyer in May 2018. The artist also painted another very similar painting, Nu couché, but this one is a lot bigger and captures the entire female figure from head to toe. Chinese stock market billionaire Liu Yiqian bought the piece to display in his Shanghai museums. Next most expensive painting in the world is Liechtenstein's 1962 masterpiece. The painting was inspired by comic book illustrations, and competes alongside some of his other famous pieces including Farm and Look Mickey. In 2017, hedge fund billionaire and avid art collector Stephen A. Cohen bought the piece for the hefty sum of $165 million. Nu couché Amedeo Modigliani. This is Modigliani's most famous nude, made public in 1917 at his solo exhibition in Paris. It depicts a naked woman on a red sofa, similar to the one we previously mentioned. However, this version was purchased for an astronomical sum by Chinese billionaire Liu Yiqian. It was reported that he purchased the piece in a single transaction using his American Express card. Les Femmes d'Alger, version O, Pablo Picasso. In the year 2015, the master's Les Femmes d'Alger version O sold for $179.4 million. To set a then world record for the most expensive painting ever sold at an auction. This painting is the culmination of a series of 15 works on women of Algiers completed by Picasso, inspired by the 19th century Spanish great Eugene Delacroix. This work perfectly exhibits Picasso's tendency to produce work that is of vintage style, yet remaining completely fresh in approach and presentation. Pendant portraits of Martin Soulmans and Orpienne Coppet. Painted to celebrate the wedding of Martin and Orpienne in 1634, these two Rembrandt paintings have never been separated. Art experts and historians agree that the paintings should always be displayed together and never apart. They were purchased by the Louvre and the Rijksmuseum in 2015 as a joint venture, each paying $50. Number 6 Violet, Green and Red. It might not be to everyone's taste, but number 6, Violet, Green and Red, has had a profound influence on contemporary art since its release. The use of vivid colors in a simple pattern exemplifies Rothko's signature style of conveying an intimate message without the use of subjects. This piece was bought for $186 million by the Russian businessman Dmitry Rybolovlev from the Swiss art dealer Yves Bouvier in the year 2014. While the purchase has subsequently got embroiled in legal disputes, this piece still remains one of the expensive pieces of art in the world. Number 17A, Jackson Pollock. This 1948 painting by Jackson Pollock was the second piece of artwork bought in a $500 million deal by hedge fund manager Kenneth C. Griffin in 2015. Number 17A isn't on public display at the moment, however, there are many exceptional Pollock collections on display in museums around the world, including the New York's Museum of Modern Art. Nafea Fai Poipo, Paul Gauguin. French post-impressionist Paul Gauguin painted this piece when he was on his first trip to Tahiti. It was one of many he painted of the native woman on the island, and its title translates to, "When Will You Marry?" The artwork has also previously been called the most expensive painting in the world, selling for $210 million in 2015 after 2 years of negotiations. The third most expensive painting ever sold, The Card Players by Paul Cézanne. It's one of 5 paintings included in the French master's 1890s series of the same name. The Card Players had been bought by the Qatari royal family from the Greek shipping magnate George Mbirikos for a whopping $274 million in the year 2011. Interchange or Interchanged is an oil canvas painting by the Dutch-American painter William de Kooning, who belonged to the school of abstract expressionism. The painting was the first of Kooning's abstract landscapes that were completed in 1955 and was influenced by Franz Klein's artistic style. Willem de Kooning's famed 1955 piece was inspired by his surroundings whilst living in NYC and commanded the highest price ever paid in a private sale. Hedge fund billionaire Kenneth C. Griffin bought it alongside his Jackson Pollock No. 17A purchase, in a $500 million deal. Salvator Mundi, Leonardo da Vinci. Salvator Mundi, or Savior of the World, was supposedly painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Many critics believe otherwise. The painting presents Jesus Christ dressed in Renaissance garbs and bestowing benediction, his right hand raised with 2 fingers crossed while holding a crystal ball in his left hand. The glass globe in his hand symbolizes crystalline spheres of the heavens. The painting was commissioned by King Louis XII of France in 1605, during the same period as the Mona Lisa. However, somewhere between 1763 and 1900, it disappeared from all records until it was rediscovered in 2005 by a group of British art dealers.